Darkness looms over the arena of forgotten kings. The massive stone fortress, bathed in the glow of countless torches, stands as a testament to a bygone era of honor and conquest. Towering walls, adorned with banners of ancient orders, rise against the night sky, their edges worn by centuries of wind and war. The grand gates, reinforced with iron and etched with sigils of old, creak open to welcome warriors, scholars, and enigmatic figures who have come to witness history being rewritten. Karl Draven, the last Templar, stands upon the highest battlement, surveying the vast courtyard below. Every detail has been meticulously arranged, the rows of sharpened steel, the rhythmic clang of hammers forging destiny in the smithy, the banners of noble houses billowing in the chill wind. This is no mere tournament. This is a reckoning. The voices of the gathered warriors fill the air, battle-hardened mercenaries, knights in gleaming plate, and mystics draped in flowing robes exchange measured glances, each searching for their place in the unfolding legend. Karl raises a hand, commanding silence. And you have not come here for coin. You do not stand on this sacred ground for fleeting glory. This tournament is a test, not of skill alone, but of resolve. The world trembles, and those who remain standing after this night must decide its fate. The duels begin. Blades sing through the air, steel crashing against steel, sparks flying like falling stars. The best among them are not only warriors, but legends in the making. The sun dips beyond the fortress walls, and by nightfall, only the strongest remain. In the great hall, a feast is laid out upon tables of carved oak, hewn from trees that have seen 1,000 battles. The scent of spiced meats and aged wine mingles with the flickering candlelight. Yet amidst the revelry, tension lingers like a shadow. Karl Draven rises, lifting a relic from its pedestal, the Soul Stone. It glows with an ethereal shimmer, its surface as smooth as glass, yet filled with the echoes of forgotten voices. Karl intones, "This is the Soul Stone." Within it lies knowledge that predates the rise and fall of empires, secrets carved into time itself, and among them, the truth of Azrael. A hush falls over the hall. The stone's glow intensifies, casting eerie reflections on the faces of those gathered. A whisper slithers through the air, not from a mortal tongue, but from the depths of the artifact itself. Whisper of the stone. Your destiny is woven in shadow and flame. Azrael, you are no accident. You were made for this. The dawn of a new age awaits. The crowd shifts uneasily. Azrael, the fallen angel, stands at the edge of the gathering, his hood concealing most of his expression. Yet his grip tightens around the hilt of his sword. He alone can hear the true depth of the stone's voice. And then, another presence manifests. A figure at the far end of the hall, unnoticed until now. Clad in a simple robe, yet emanating an aura of pure authority. Elyon, the god of light, watches in silence. Karl meets his gaze, recognizing instantly that this is no mortal visitor. There is no wrath in Elyon's expression, nor approval, only the calm scrutiny of one who has watched countless ages pass. The decision Karl once thought he could make alone is no longer his to bear. Every eye in the hall is upon him. He grips the soul stone tighter, feeling its weight, not just in his hand, but in his very soul. If he stands with Azrael, the course of Metropolis X will shift irrevocably. Turning, he faces his warriors, his 150 remaining Templars, the last of their kind, awaiting his command. We are no longer mere keepers of the past. We are not relics of a fading age. From this night forward, we are the shield that will stand between ruin and hope. I swear upon the honor of the Templars that we will fight, no matter the cost." The soul stone pulses, and in that instant, the path is set. Karl Draven, the last of his order, has allied himself with Azrael. There is no turning back. In the shadows, Elian vanishes as subtly as he came, leaving behind only a final whisper that lingers in Kael's mind. "You betrayed tradition to save the future. But will the future betray you?" The hall remains eerily silent as the words fade into nothingness, their weight settling upon Coil's shoulders like an unshakable burden. The flickering torchlight casts elongated shadows along the stone walls, painting silent figures of warriors long past. The Templars shift uncomfortably, sensing the enormity of what has transpired. Beyond the great doors of the keep, the night stretches vast and unyielding. The distant sounds of the revelry in the lower halls feel almost detached from reality, as if those celebrating are blissfully unaware of the tempest brewing within these walls. Karl turns to Azrael. "The path is set, but I fear the road ahead is darker than even we can comprehend. The gods watch. The fate of Metropolis X teeters on the edge, and we have but one chance to prepare before the storm arrives." Azrael's expression is unreadable. "The gods do not dictate our fate, Karl. They only observe as we shape it." A murmur spreads among the warriors as a new presence steps forward, an envoy, cloaked in garments bearing no insignia, yet exuding an aura of quiet authority. His voice is low, urgent. The syndicate moves in the shadows. They have learned of the Soul Stone, and their agents are already at work. This alliance you have forged, it will be tested sooner than you expect. Kyle's grip tightens on his sword. "Then let them come. If they wish to strike at the heart of the Templars, they will find we are not so easily broken." The envoy hesitates. It is not brute force they bring, but deception, betrayal. They will turn those closest to you against you. They will whisper in the ears of kings, priests, and warriors alike. Before long, you will not know who stands at your side. A silence heavier than steel descends upon the room. Kyle looks once more at his assembled warriors, men and women who have followed him through countless battles, who have pledged their lives to a cause greater than themselves. Yet now, doubt seeps into the edges of their loyalty, not to the Templars, but to the uncertain future they have chosen. Kyle inhales sharply. "Then let it be known. Let all who would conspire in shadow, who would wield lies as their blades, hear these words. The Templars do not waver. We do not falter. And if treachery seeks to break us, we will carve our truth into the bones of this world." The hall erupts in a chorus of steel against steel, blades drawn in unison, a pledge to the path chosen this night. Yet in the unseen corners of the castle, whispers already stir, whispers of unseen hands guiding events, of enemies who do not strike with swords, but with carefully placed words. For Karl Draven and his Templars, the war has already begun. Even if the first blow has yet to be struck, the air in the great hall grows heavier, charged with the weight of unspoken alliances and hidden betrayals. The flickering torchlight dances across the faces of the warriors, casting long shadows that seem to stretch into the unknown future. Kyle's words still echo in the silence, a defiant vow against the encroaching darkness. But defiance alone will not be enough. Azrael steps forward, his hood still drawn low, though the faint glow of his eyes pierces through the dim light. "The Syndicate," he says, his voice a low rumble, "will not wait for us to prepare. They move in the shadows as they always have. If we are to face them, we must strike first. Before their whispers turn to daggers in the night, Kael meets Azrael's gaze, his jaw tightening. And how do you propose we do that? We do not even know who among us might already be compromised. Azrael's lips curl into a faint, knowing smile. Trust is a luxury we cannot afford. But fear not, Kael. The Soul Stone has shown me things, glimpses of their plans, fragments of their movements. If we act swiftly, we can cut the head from the serpent before it strikes. The envoy, still standing at the edge of the gathering, clears his throat. The Syndicate's reach is vast. They have eyes and ears in every corner of Metropolis X. If you move against them openly, they will know, and they will retaliate with more than just blades. Kael turns to the envoy, his expression hardening. Then we will not move openly. We will strike from the shadows just as they do. We will become the hunters, not the hunted. A murmur of agreement ripples through the Templars, though some exchange uneasy glances. The thought of abandoning their code of honor, even for a greater cause, sits uneasily with many. Yet they know the stakes. The world they have sworn to protect hangs in the balance. Elion's whisper lingers in Kael's mind, a haunting reminder of the choice he has made. You betrayed tradition to save the future, but will the future betray you? The words gnaw at him, but he pushes them aside. There is no room for doubt now. Gather your weapons, Kael commands, his voice cutting through the tension. Prepare for the unseen war. We move at first light. As the Templars disperse, the great hall empties, leaving Kael and Azrael alone. The Soul Stone rests on its pedestal, its ethereal glow pulsating faintly, as if alive. Kael approaches it, his hand hovering over its smooth surface. This stone, he murmurs. It holds the key to everything, doesn't it? Azrael nods. It holds the truth of Azrael, of me, and of the role I must play in what is to come. But it also holds the Syndicate's greatest fear. They will stop at nothing to claim it. Kael's fingers brush the stone, and for a moment, he feels the weight of centuries pressing down on him. Visions flash before his eyes, ancient battles, forgotten heroes, and a darkness so vast it threatens to consume everything. He pulls his hand away, his breath shallow. Then we must ensure they never do. Azrael places a hand on Kael's shoulder, his touch surprisingly firm. You have chosen a dangerous path, Karl Draven. But know this, you are not alone. The fallen and the forsaken stand with you. Together, we will reshape the fate of this world. Kael nods, though the weight of his decision feels heavier than ever. He turns to the great doors of the hall, where the first hints of dawn begin to creep through the cracks. The night is fading, but the darkness ahead is far from over. As they step into the cold morning air, the fortress stirs with activity. The Templars move with purpose, their once gleaming armor now dulled by the weight of their new mission. The banners of ancient orders flutter in the wind, their colors muted against the gray sky. The arena of forgotten kings stands silent, a monument to a time long past, yet its walls bear witness to the birth of a new era. Karl Draven, the last Templar, takes his place at the head of his warriors. The path before them is uncertain, fraught with peril and betrayal. But they march forward, their resolve unshaken, for they are no longer mere keepers of the past. They are the shield against the coming storm, the last hope for a world teetering on the edge of ruin. And as the first light of dawn breaks over the horizon, the war begins.